Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Yemi,
And I'm Tokes.
and we are here to take you on a journey. People, if you've ever dreamed of going to Asia, specifically Southeast Asia, hop on. We went on an adventure, right,
Yep.
of a few countries in Southeast Asia, and we are starting the series on Vietnam. We went to a few places in Vietnam and we'd like to start sharing what we saw, what we ate, how we felt. Please forgive us, those of you that are out there that know how to pronounce the names correctly. If we butcher it, please forgive us.
We will butcher it.
Okay. But the first place that we actually landed, we landed in Hanoi, but we stayed in a place called Vinh Yên, okay, Vinh Yên City. The name, you can see it right there in the description. It is in what province again?
Vinh Phan.
Well, I don't know if it's in New York, but the name of the city.
It's written here. If we pronounce it wrong, it's right on the screen.
But it is Vinh Yên, and we stayed in Vinh Yên. It's not a huge city. It has like a very small town vibe.
Yeah.
What we discovered actually throughout our visit in Vietnam, the public transportation is not really,
Non-existent.
yeah, it's not really there. Why? Because a lot of people buy their bikes,
Yeah.
right?
They ride bikes.
They ride bikes. Those that don't have cars, they have way more bikes.
Bikes, you mean motorcycles?
Motorcycles,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
scooters, yeah.
Motorized bikes, yeah. And if you do not have your own bike, you can grab a grab.
Grab bike or grab car.
Yeah, grab car. Yeah. You see what I did there? Grab a grab. I know it's not original. I'm sorry, folks. But there's a lot of grab. There is no Uber. Probably a few years ago, they said Grab bought Uber in Southeast Asia. That's why a lot of places that you go in Southeast Asia, you only see Grab.
There's a lot of grabbing going on here.
Yes, a lot of grab. That was good. There's a lot of grabbing going on. So Vinh Yên, small town vibe. Very, very small town vibe. We stayed at Crown Plaza. We're either IHG or Hyatt.
Yeah. And for a small town, it's not very walkable, is it?
No, that was the other thing about Vinh Yên for us. We were there for about 8 days. And we like to get out and walk and hop on public transportation and mingle with the locals and see how the locals live. We really don't want to stay in a hotel where they're only foreigners or tourists, people. We like to be out. So their sidewalks, it's not that they didn't plan the sidewalks, people.
Oh, they have plenty of sidewalks.
But can you tell the people
There
what
were
they
also
use?
car parks.
No, they park on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear me?
So that's why I said car parks.
Yeah, car parks, yeah. They park their cars on the sidewalk. They park their motorcycles on the sidewalk. So you're dodging and you end up walking on the streets because the sidewalks are not usable. They're there, but they're not usable. That was an interesting thing for us to find out.
Yeah.
Especially in a town where we couldn't just hop on the bus.
Yeah.
Or in a tube or, so anywho. So that was it for the transportation. It's not congested. Traffic flows pretty easy. That was wonderful to see. Traffic flows easy, so it's not congested at all.
Not like Hanoi.
Yeah, Hanoi is very congested. But going back to Vinh Yên, it's dusty for us because there seems to be a lot of construction going on.
And the interesting thing about their constructions that I witnessed, they only last about 30 minutes.
They take many breaks, it looks like. The construction people. Okay. Because we'll be sitting high up in our hotel room and looking down because they had construction right around the hotel. We'll hear the jack hammering or some noise, and then in 30, 40 minutes it stops.
It's gone, yeah.
And they just leave. They just leave. I'm like, they didn't work that long on there. But anyhow, yeah, it's very dusty. It is very dusty. Bring your masks, people, and change your masks every day. You're going to need to do that. And when you see people wearing masks, let's just say in Southeast Asia, it does not mean that they're sick. It's just that there's a lot of air pollution.
Mhm.
And Vietnam, Hanoi, actually, they win the designation for one of the worst polluted air quality in the world.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the haze in the sky. You
Yeah.
can't see more than,
Yeah.
a few yards or something ahead of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you definitely see it. So you'll see masks. So don't be alarmed if you see people walking around with masks. We ended up wearing masks while we were there, just simply because of the air quality and all the construction, the dust, from the construction. We didn't want to be breathing all that stuff in. So that's it for the air quality. So it's probably not the cleanest city that we've been in. I don't think they're gonna win the award to the cleanest city. I don't think so at all.
probably not.
And that leads into the market. When we went into the market, we like to go to the street markets. We like to go to the markets too, that the locals frequent. Um, if you do go to Vinh Yên City, please, when you go out, it's not a place for flip-flops. Make sure your feet are covered because of the dust again. And since it's really not the cleanest, it's not like you'll find dog poop on the floor
No.
like some Latin American countries that we know and love so much, which will remain nameless right now. But if you know, you know. But it's not that you're going to step into dog doo-doo, but the dust, your feet are gonna get dirty by the time so
Yeah.
cover your feet.
Yeah, and the natives, they have no qualms about throwing trash water out on the streets. It doesn't go into any drain or anything. So maybe somebody cleans their fish or meat or whatever, the water goes out on the street. So
Yeah.
if you're nearby and you get splashed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we never got splashed, but anywho, just cover your feet, okay? Cover your feet, and get your masks with you. When we went to the market, we went to a street market, and we mean literally on the street. You have vegetables on the street. You have
People getting
fruits
into the market.
into the market. You have vegetables on the street. You've got meat on the streets. You've got everything literally on the streets. We love to witness that. We love to participate in that. So we walked around kind of looking at things. The market, at least the one in Vinh Yên that we went to, it wasn't the cleanest, the floors. So we thought, it's okay. We'll just stay on the street. So that's what we did. Now, where else did we go? You have to do the touristy things. So in Vietnam, I don't know about other Southeast Asia or Asian countries, but in Vietnam, they tend to call their Buddhist temples pagodas. Like the pagoda that we have in North America that we think is like a quirky and elegant addition to your home that you picnic under, you have your barbecues. No. It's the same spelling, but this refers to temples in Vietnam. So we did go to two, and you'll see it in the video. We've got great video footage. The first one we went to was Ha Tien, a Ha Tien Pagoda.
It was beautiful.
Oh,
I loved it. It was very peaceful, very beautiful. And they just let us wander around. Nobody bothered us. Nobody came to ask us, what are you doing here? So it was worth visiting in Vinh Yên.
Yes, that really was. That was such a spiritual experience, especially in certain parts of it. There was a certain quality about that place. I can see how it's a temple. There is a certain serenity and calmness that you just feel closer to whoever, whatever your spiritual um, North Star is. Okay. I mean, it was so great and it was beautifully decorated. I mean, they had this long, remember that long avenue of different Buddhas, remember?
It's just one Buddha. They're all golden big Buddhas.
It was just one. Okay,
yeah.
well, but they had different statues.
Yeah.
It was one long avenue. That avenue was so serene that you just felt close to some spiritual being.
Yeah, the Buddhas and the lanterns.
Yes, the Buddhas, the Buddhas and the lanterns, the golden. Enjoy the beautiful footage. You shot a beautiful footage there. And like Tope said, they just they acknowledged us. Because actually the taxi driver that took us had to go in and get change. Mm. So they knew we were there, and you see our color. You don't see a lot of melanin people in Vinh Yên. So, I mean, they didn't even bat an eyelid. They just looked and acknowledged. I think they may have done this a little or do the xin shao, the bow, and they just let us roam. And we were a little worried that should we be walking just all over this place?
We were respectful of the space too.
Very.
At least we tried to be.
Very, very. And there were some spots that just seemed so, it felt like they intentionally created it for serenity, for you to have quiet moments. And we did get quick footages of those spots, and we made sure we were not going on and on, mm-hmm. With our recording on that. It was great.
And the interesting thing is, when you're outside, you feel like it's not exactly like a place that nobody visits. It's a well-used space. Yeah, I mean, what I mean is, it's like you're in the city, but then you get inside that place. And it's a whole different atmosphere.
It really is. The vibe is different. When you go in, they have this beautiful waterfall with koi fish, on the bottom that we actually missed until we came back. We didn't see that until the end of the tour. It was huge. That place is huge. They had this huge, what do you call it? Like monument at the top with the steps. It was beautiful. And the biggest Buddha I ever saw, remember the huge Buddha? Mm-hmm. The one huge Buddha.
Was that the first one or second?
It was the first one. Okay. Yeah, it was actually, the biggest Buddha I ever saw. And of course, people were bringing offerings. You saw some offerings at the temple. And there was just something about that space. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, there was something in the air in that place, walking around, like you just felt closer. Yeah, you got closer. So we did go to the second one. Oh, by the way, Hatian Pagoda. There's no entrance fee, and there was nobody asking for donation because we walked, we looked around, we're like, okay, surely somebody's gonna come and say something, but nobody did. They literally left us alone to do what we wanted to do there. And the second one we went to was called Tikson. Okay, Tikson Pagoda, a little smaller. We got some amazing footage of that. Different vibe, won't you say?
Different vibe, yeah.
Different vibe from the two pagoda. So this smaller one, it seems like they're actually actively fundraising for some of the missionary stuff that they do. So they let you in, somebody comes out, says hello to you. I made a friend. You'll see footage of her there in the Nola. Is that how you say the hat?
Nonla.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Nonla. That's a traditional Vietnamese hat. You see some of the footage on there. And guess who had to run by their own nonla quickly? Somebody did. He could not wait to go buy his. And maybe he'll model in one of the videos of future places that we went. Maybe. If you want to see him, drop a comment and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when he models the non-laugh for you. So anyway, we went to the second one, Tixon, different vibe, smaller. Somebody came out, said hello. Of course, they only speak Vietnam, and we had to learn how to say hello is
They
Xin
speak
Xiao.
Vietnamese.
Oh, sorry, Vietnamese. And hello is Xin Xiao, and you do the bow as you say Xin Xiao. So we did say that, and they smile a lot at you. They understand you don't understand their language, but there's this thing about gestures and signs. We get what we need from them across, and they get what they need from us across to us. So we did that one, and there was a little at the end of it. There was a little donation box that they came to remind us. It took us a minute to figure out what they were saying because they jumped right up. Two of them or three.
Right.
Three women.
They showed you the box, and then
Yeah,
you knew what it was for. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did throw something in that was good. We had fun. That was it really for Vinh Yên. So
They also like to tell you about the lake, but the lake really didn't do much for us because they were very dirty. I mean, it's almost like they threw a lot of trash in it, and it was all green and all that. So
yeah, one of the smaller lakes that we went to.
even the big one
The
wasn't
big
that
one?
clean either.
Well,
Yeah, I was afraid that if a mosquito bites me from that lake, I might get sick. So
so we stayed clear. Yeah, we stayed clear. We have some footage. We stayed away from the lake, but there's a beautiful walkway
around the lake.
around the lake.
Yeah.
Gorgeous that they really that should be a happening place. People should be spending time there. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. Around the lake is very beautiful.
It is
I just wish they would stop throwing things in the lake or clean it up or whatever.
Polluted.
That would have been a very beautiful place to go spend time.
Yeah. Oh, and you remember we saw the three men fishing?
I won't get anything from that lake.
I know, I'm like, what are you getting from that lake? But anyhow, now on the other side of the road, they had this beautiful gardens with well manicured grass and flowers. You have some footage of that. That's a popular place that people go to. It was kind of dead. There wasn't anybody, so we had the whole place to ourselves. Literally. Yeah, and we just walked on through. The food, we always like to talk about the food.
The food. Well, the nice thing I can say about the food is it's cheap.
Yeah. Well, not just that. Remember our favorite hole in the wall place?
Yeah, I mean it's still cheap.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. We discovered a place that we really liked. Other places that we ate, we were not too enamored by them, but
yeah, we were not. We were not very impressed with the other places, except the one hole in the wall place that we found. And we found it the first day we went out. That we went back, 2 times?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, we went back 2 times more because it was so delicious. We had some kind of pho. I don't remember what kind of pho it was. And then they put a side of fried fish.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, the fish alone, I will go back there every day for the fish alone. It was quite delicious. And that was so cheap. That actually up to date. So at the point of recording this, we have been in Vietnam now for about 3.5
weeks.
Yeah, almost a month. We've been in Vietnam almost a month, almost 30 days at this point, and that was still the cheapest delicious food we have seen. It's not on the street. It's not from a street market. It's a legit restaurant. Yes, it's hole in the wall, but it had signs on the outside of it. And I think the one dish that you had was about 50,000 Vietnamese dong, which is very, very cheap, people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll do the math. When you do this, you can see the equivalent. That's less than what? $4? $1?
I mean, some ridiculous
Yeah,
amount.
like $2. It's really cheap. It was a whole meal and it was delicious. The pho was delicious. It was good.
I mean, talking about the pho, I think anywhere you eat pho here in Vietnam, it has been. I mean, they perfected that broth,
Oh my God. You taste everything in the broth. It's not just a bouillon that people You just don't dissolve a bouillon. You taste every single word that they put in there, all the different vegetables that went into making that. You taste the onions, the garlic, that it's just a dance in your mouth. The broth is fantastic from all the pho. It's been every single place, high end place, low end place. The pho has just been out of this world, out of this world. So that is it for Vinh Yên. We always like to ask this because Vietnam is such a big country and we're actually staying in 4 or 5 places in the country. Would you come back to Vinh Yên? That would be a no for me too. For some of the reasons we've already said, that would be a no. This one is a one and done.
Yeah, it's one and done.
Yeah, this one is a one and done. But
it was fun while we're there.
It really was.
Yeah,
it really was.
It was okay, but it wasn't. It's not a place I would like to visit again.
No. But guys, if you've ever been to Vinh Yên or know somebody who's been to Vinh Yên,
or you had different experience in Vinh Yên,
please
drop a comment.
Please, let's see what your comments are. Maybe we just went to the wrong places, but we went out. Now, this was our first introduction, really, to the country of Vietnam, where we actually stayed. Like we said at the beginning of the video, we did land into Hanoi. That's an international airport. We landed in Hanoi, but then we just hopped in a car and went to Vinh Yên. Vinh Yên is about 40-minute drive from the airport. Yeah, it's a 40-minute drive. And this is where we were introduced to how they love to light up streets.
Mm-hmm. They love the lights.
And the streets, a lot of them will have arches with names. Mm-hmm. And in the evening, it comes on bright.
And they're like Christmas type lights.
Yes.
So it's not like, street lights or whatever. It's Christmas type lights. Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful at night. And another thing we were introduced to also is that they take siestas. At least the little mom and pop restaurants and stuff, everything shuts down.
Yeah, they close around 2 o'clock.
2?
Yeah.
2, and then
back at 5.
Yeah, they open back at 5. I remember that one restaurant that we walked into. He was sold out of a lot of his stuff. We got there about 3 o'clock, 3:30, because we didn't know any better. And we just walked in. We pointed to one and go, no, sold out. Pointed to the other, sold out. I'm like, why are you sold out? He said it's over with lunch. So apparently they closed at 2. But I think he forgot to close his door, so we just walked right in. That's why we just walked right in. So then we learned our lesson. So we go before 2, or we wait till
after 5.
Till 5:30 is what we were doing. Because the sun, you want to stay inside too. The sun is no joke in Vietnam. Yeah, the sun it's something else. Definitely something else in Vietnam. But that is it for our adventures in Vinh Yên City in Vietnam. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We hope you're able to take something from it, maybe inspire your future travels. Please feel free to share this video with your loved ones. We always say sharing is caring. And if you found any value, consider hopping on and subscribing and being part of the family here.
Yeah, and just before you go, do not judge Vietnam by Vinh Yên standard. It's, I think it would be unfair to the country.
Yes,
to do that.
Definitely do not. And that's what we hope to do for you. Go to the different countries and sample different parts of it, and then come back and give you some report of it so you can make informed decisions of where you want to spend your travel dollars. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good rest of your day. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.